Greetings, Earthlings.
Kind of going back to that, the Bogota, Colombia thing, and talking about like our weakness with the secret place. One of the things that really ministered to me when I was there was he was talking about the secret place. And so what happens is you have a 4-day conference and it's like super intense, like 3 to 4 hour sessions, and you break for lunch, then you come back and it's like super intense, super tired, but super like you're worshiping with 20,000 people. And it's like, you're on like this amazing, like spiritual
Fire,
God's
yeah.
amazing.
Yep.
And because I mean, it is like to see God move there and just touch these people and how they cry out. And, but he was talking about the secret place and how everything we do in God is accomplished in the secret place. Because like for me, I sometimes get so caught up, like people will give words like to like me or Massey and I or us about like our calling and like what we have and how God's blessed us and given us favor and like where we're going and what we're called to do. And specifically we were there, Pastor Todd was talking to me about like writing books, and I'm like yes, but you know, like but so I get caught up when I get those words and I receive them by that they're a word from God, that they're a word from the Holy Ghost, because it confirms what I've already had in my heart, what God I feel has already shown me. But what I do is I go about to accomplish it into like, okay, what do I got to do? What do I like? How do I do this? Like getting so caught up in, okay, now I'm involved in
I
like,
need to start taking these steps.
Yeah, the
right
women's
away.
ministry. How do I do this? I got to show this. I got to do this. I got to do this better. Got to do this. And what ministered to me was this Pastor Ricardo was saying, all this is accomplished in the secret place and not outside of that. And how like comforting that was to me, like in the sense of if I'm not there yet and I'm still seeking God, if I'm not like, I don't feel like I've arrived, or like I don't feel I'm at the point of to start a book yet, but I'm still seeking God with my whole heart, it just means that it's maybe not the right timing, or it just means just walk out who you are now and that will come, versus
rather
like,
than forcing it.
Yeah, instead of forcing it, be in that secret place with the Lord and be led by him, be willing to step out, but don't force it. And to me, that was like so one of the most powerful things about this like secret place, over and over talking about this secret place, about how he'll wake up at like 5 a.m. And I get the fact that most of us can't do this like as humans with a job or with kids or whatever, but he wakes up at like 5, 6 a.m. We'll spend like 5 to 6 hours with the Lord till like noon, and then like start his ministry stuff.
And I think that's a huge part of what holds us back as Americans is talking into our last week, we're so overbooked. Like, if you don't schedule the time in,
that's the other thing he said that hit Dominic. He said, I don't find the time to spend with God, I schedule time to spend with God, versus like, oh, I don't wait till the end of my day, and if I have 10 minutes or wake up and try to find 15 minutes in the morning to spend with God, I schedule time to spend with God. And Dominic said that was like, because you're right, like we just get so like bogged down with
work, trying to spend time with family, cooking, cleaning,
church activities,
kids activities, whatever.
Not even anything necessarily bad.
Yeah.
And we leave off spending time with the Lord. I know that like when I was there, I was convicted about that secret place, about like how much time do I waste on Facebook or just chilling, you know what I mean? Like, and how that time could be scheduled for the Lord. And when I'm tired, I should find this quote. When this guy said, I think it was Smith Wigglesworth, I could be wrong about this, he basically said, when I'm tired, I pray myself awake. And because it's like the God of the universe is the one that wants to spend time with us, you know what I mean? And he's going to be the one that helps us walk in that communion. Not
it's funny because when I'm tired, I pray, or if I can't go to sleep, I pray to
myself to sleep. Well, that's
terrible, but
that's true. I do that too.
I like that. I pray myself awake.
Yeah.
God's worth that.
Yeah. I think that's what a lot of the people that we talk about and that minister to us, those great heroes of the faith, that's what they understood. They understood like that spending time with the Lord, and that none of what we're seeking comes outside of that. And it's like, I mean, it's so hard because even going back to prayer, I remember being in a Bible study, and it was the Beth Moore Bible study, and talking about, there was this one particular chapter where she was talking about Paul's prayer life, and that Paul panted after a prayer life, or panted after the Lord and spent time with the Lord. And so we got talking on prayer, and somebody said in there, I just can't pray. It's like talking to a wall. Like there's no like, I just can't, because like I feel like God's not listening, or God's not hearing. It's dead. And I just immediately got to the point where I was like, you don't think every other minister has felt that?
Yeah.
Has like, you don't think I've felt that, where I'm like, I'm going to go pray, and Massey's like, how was prayer? I'm like, it stunk. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm talking to the wall. But that's the thing. Like, you go back again and again and again until you break through, or you stay in that moment until you break through, because God is faithful to he's the one that wants to spend time with us more than we want to spend time with him. Yeah. So if we're in that point where like, this stinks, I'm talking to a wall, you stay in that moment until you break through into God's presence, because there's like nothing like breaking through into God's presence. And all that like 20, 30 minutes of struggling to break through makes that, like, even if it's 5 minutes in God's presence, way so much worth it. It's like, and that's what, so I think a lot of people struggle with that in prayer. Like it's there, it's dead. Like I would rather turn on music or a message. Yeah.
But
it's
personal testimony, back when we first got married and we start our, the pastor that did our, what do you call it, premarital kind of meeting, and then he did our wedding. There's one thing he said that really was important to him and his wife, is every night they would pray together no matter what. And we're like, okay, let's start doing that. I couldn't pray out loud. Like there was just this wall there, something about like praying, like it's very personal, and something about like having somebody else hear it. I was so worried, or
that you were praying
that
wrong,
I was
really?
Praying wrong, and I didn't have that much practice in it, and then I don't know, just like telling people that, because it's okay to, you have to start somewhere. It's the little steps like we were talking about. It's from get to point A to praying in front of a group comfortably, like this last week. It's like that took a long time, and still I don't feel 100% comfortable in prayer. So
and even that, like when I'm listening to you talk, like that is found in the secret place. Because when you in that verse Romans 8:26, when it says, likewise the Spirit also helpeth our infirmities, for we know not what we should pray as we ought, but the Spirit itself maketh intercession for us with groanings which cannot be uttered.